What is going on, everybody out there? This is Jakejames Lugo. Welcome to the channel. Hope you guys have been enjoying all the videos I've been posting up lately. So let's talk about the news that happened over the weekend. Let's talk about the Gamer Gauntlet Cruise controversy. A lot of you guys probably know, if you've been following me on Twitter, that I actually reported on this and did some interviews, exclusive interviews with thecoalition.com with both parties that were involved, including Gamer Tech Events, the CEO of Gamer Tech Events, Curtis Smith, as well as also Zach, who is the one who posted up the original Periscope videos from Money Matches. He's the CEO of Money Matches, and both parties and both individuals talked with me exclusively about the stuff that was happening. So you could kind of say I was breaking news right there, and at least getting some big time scoops and doing what a lot of people would consider real journalism, doing a little bit of investigative reporting and talking with some of the parties that were involved with what was going down. But today, and in this video, we're finally going to get a little bit of some editorialization. I'm going to kind of give you guys my thoughts on everything that's happened and everything that's come out in relation to this whole controversy, because I know some of you out there, if you've been following a lot of this stuff that's been going on and you've been checking out the stuff that I've been posting up on social media and that's been getting shared around, I'm pretty sure you want to know what's up and what are my thoughts on this. So where do I stand on the Gamer Gauntlet Cruise controversy? I love the idea of a gamer cruise or a gaming-themed cruise. That sounds like a really dope idea. And from my understanding, after doing a little bit of investigating online and a little bit of some Google searches, there are cruises out there that aren't as big as like what this was supposed to be, that are gaming-themed, that have been getting, you know, some sort of notoriety in their local areas. And that's pretty cool. I'm actually talking to one right now and getting some details about it that's actually locally near where I'm at. But besides that, let's get back to the Gamer Gauntlet itself. I'm not going to lie, when I was looking at all the news unfold and all the things that was happening on social media, a lot of the stuff that was being put out there, I was a little bit worried about, because not only did I have friends and colleagues that were thinking about going to this thing, including some that were already confirmed to go, a lot of different journalist people that I know, journalist friends, people in the industry, a lot of YouTubers and content creators and gaming personalities that I know personally that I've interacted with many, many different times, were going to be going on this cruise. And the reason why I was getting so much attention is because not only was it having a lot of celebrities attached to it, including the girl that plays the new Storm in X-Men Apocalypse, as well as a bunch of other big-time streamers, commentators, Twitch subscribe, or at least Twitch personalities, you know, and community managers, esports commentators, the list goes on. But also the word of mouth about it in various different places on social media when it was first coming out was pretty big. I know in the interviews that I said when I actually talked with both Curtis and Zach that not a lot of people were talking about it for like at least a good 2 months, and that was around the time after April, between May and June up till now, where you didn't really hear much about what was going on, and there was a couple different reasons for that. But the main big thing, at least, that was going on for the Gamer Gauntlet Cruise was that there was a lot of behind-the-scenes turmoil, and that's to be expected when you're dealing with a lot of money. When you're dealing with something or any sort of like event or project that has a lot of investment being thrown into it, and there's a lot of companies putting their name on the tagline, or at least a name on the ballot for this stuff and getting behind it, as well as also the celebrity star power that's getting behind it as well, there's bound to be some sort of thing that goes wrong. There's bound to be some sort of stuff that kind of goes hand in hand with Murphy's Law. But regardless of that, that's not my issue. That's nobody else's issue, because that's the issue of the people that are trying to organize everything. So when all the Periscope videos started coming out and I started seeing all that kind of get passed around, when Zach actually blew the whistle on it, it all seemed pretty shady to me when you start to really look into it. When I started going into the different websites, not only the main website for the cruise itself, which had that splash page. I mean, if you just did a Google search right then and there, you could see all the other pages that were still live that for whatever reason they didn't lock through. So I was able to look at all that stuff and question Curtis about everything that was on there. The pricing, the stars, the sponsors, all the different events, the charity stuff that was planned. There's a lot of things that were going to go down with this. And it was just amazing to me and confusing to me that with all these things kind of getting behind it and being listed on the website, why wasn't nobody really kind of being vocal about it? Why wasn't nobody really talking about it? Especially when it was planned to go down in October of this year, which I thought was strange. Now, again, there was only a few people that I saw really talking about this, you know, as far as different personalities that were thinking about going, or journalists that were already confirmed to go. And that's not enough to get a lot of buzz. When usually there's a lack of buzz with stuff like this, it ends up being very suspicious, because it either means that people are pulling out, that people don't have their stuff together, or there's a lot of things that are changing within, and maybe it's going to be something completely different. It obviously ended up being the former with everything that had come out. Now, how do I feel about the different interviews that I did with both Zach and also Curtis? Curtis being the first one that I did. Well, I talked to Curtis for about 45 minutes, and we got into a lot of the nitty-gritty of things that had happened. And I'm not going to lie, it was a good interview as far as me asking questions and really kind of trying to cover all the bases and stuff. But even then, with some of the answers that were being given, I'm not going to lie, much like other people, I did kind of feel a little bit suspect, or at least, be a little bit worried of some of the things that were being said. Again, with the lack of statement from Royal Caribbean as far as like putting any sort of kind of like advertisement about it on their website, especially when it's one of their big boats, the Majesty at Sea, I believe it is. Again, I can't remember the name of the boat itself, but one of their charters that's, one of their big premier charters that is constantly a big portion of their business being put out there. Why wouldn't Royal Caribbean want to put their name attached, to the first gaming themed cruise that was on like a big scale or a big AAA scale? Why would that be the case? And then all the stuff with the whole cease and desist order, the whole thing with the money being transferred over to either a PayPal account or going through Eventbrite, a lot of it just seemed a little bit fishy to me and a little bit off base, even with the way that Curtis was kind of, explaining it all. That's just how I felt. There's no judgments here. Again, I was only trying to report the news and just ask the questions that people wanted to know about. But as far as like my own personal feelings, I'm not going to lie, I did feel a little bit suspect. Now, what about the interview that I did with Zach? Zach seems like he gave a lot more clarification with some of the things that were going on. I'm not going to lie, it did take like a few days for me and him to actually get connected because of everything that was happening. So that did kind of suck. And I wish that it was a lot longer in the same vein that I did with Curtis at the time. But, again, everybody's busy, everybody's doing their own thing. But at least with Zach, he gave me a lot more insight, not only in the behind the scenes stuff with the money exchange, as well as also what they were planning and what they were hoping to get behind and stuff, but also even with the way that how things just look very suspect by the time he was actually looking into them. And that was someone that was trying to get really heavily involved with it. And of course, if you're going to be involved with something like this, when you're going to put your name on the ballot, again, like any other company, you're going to want to make sure that everybody's on their P's and Q's. So now that things have happened and now that things have kind of settled down a little bit after the news has come out, and funny enough, a lot of different places were reporting it after my first interview went up, which really sucks because none of those places looked at my interview. And I was very, very upset about that. I had a lot of info that I got from Curtis where we were talking about stuff when I was questioning him about everything on the website. And funny enough, he finally did lock his website when I actually questioned him about it. After our interview, he actually went back and locked down the whole website, and then nobody else could look at the website, which I thought was funny. But I found it even more funnier and even more annoying that a lot of the different places afterwards that started reporting on this news that did not post up their stuff that same day that I posted up the interview I did with Curtis, not one of them looked at the interview. Not one of them looked at any of the statements that Curtis had made on the record for a lot of the different stuff that they were reporting. Everybody just went to the Periscope videos and they only got so much info from that. They didn't get the full story. They didn't get all the details about everything that was happening. The same goes for my follow-up interview with Zach afterwards. Nobody, at least that was reporting that, or at least the news, really looked at all the stuff that was said by Zach, including some of the big major details that people were waiting on to hear about, not only just with Royal Caribbean, but some of the other places and the other sponsors that were, again, kind of involved, or at least money match as far as being involved, in actual direct statements from these people that were directly involved with this controversy or this news that was happening that weekend. And again, that really put a sad face on me. And it really sucked, for lack of a better word. But regardless, though, that's neither here nor there. How do I feel that now that everything's happened and everything has settled down? Well, I think that it's going to be very difficult to get another big budgeted or a big high profile gamer cruise off the ground, or at least out to set sail and be successful, because I feel like a lot of people are burned. A lot of people are very upset that not only did this didn't pan out the way that they had hoped, but also they feel a little bit betrayed. And I honestly don't blame them. When you start seeing something that's getting a lot of attention that you were thinking that was going to be a very big deal, and maybe you pre-ordered tickets or you bought tickets and bought a cabin with, at least with this being the cruise, you put money invested into this and you were hoping and making plans to go to something like this, and all of a sudden it comes out that it could have been a scam, or that it could have been shady, or that things are just not going to pan out the way that they're supposed to pan out because of one reason or another. You're going to be very suspect, you're going to be very skeptical if another one comes down the line, let alone if it's done by the same people or done by the same company, even if it's through a different cruise line. line. You're going to have those people that are going to be very suspicious of this, and they're going to be less likely to get involved with it. Now, let's be real for a second. If another company, let's say like Money Matches, like what Zach had told me that he was thinking about, maybe he'd be down to do it on his own, or any but other company that's legit and has a lot of trust with a lot of their customers and a lot of the general public decides to do something like this, then it could be a possibility. Then it could be something that could actually be legit and probably could get off the ground a lot easier. But as far as like anybody else that, again, isn't really well known, that's really trying to do good and trying to really put stuff out there, really try to make something special for everybody within the gaming community, it's going to be a lot more difficult this time around because the well has been poisoned, not just with a level of doubt, but also with just a level of betrayal, a level of just like feeling lied to and just feeling disappointed overall. So regardless, though, that's just my thoughts on everything that's happened with the Gamer Gauntlet controversy. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there and give a little bit of editorialization, outside of all the reporting that I had to do over the weekend. Again, I really worked my butt off, not just to get the exclusive interviews with those guys, but also get it to be passed around with everybody out there that was really curious about this, or again, had some sort of vested interest in this, whether you were going to the actual cruise or if you were being involved with the planning or anything else related to the Gamer Gauntlet Cruise. So hopefully we get some more details maybe down the line about something different, or maybe another company decides to do something similar to this idea, and hopefully, we can move all past this. So regardless, though, guys, that's all I got for this news. Leave me a comment down below in the comment section. Tell me what you guys think about the Gamer Gauntlet Cruise, or any of the news that happened over the weekend, or any of the other stuff that I mentioned throughout this entire video. If you guys got suggestions for news topics or just general subjects and discussions you guys want me to talk about in future videos here for the channel for JJ Brings It, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel for all my videos related to gaming and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. I got a lot of other content planned for down the line. There's a lot of big things that are happening, not just with here on the channel, but also on thecoalition.com that I can't wait to share with you guys. Regardless, though, I will talk to all of you guys again very soon. Peace out and stay epic, everybody.